Hi, my name is Tracey. I'm a counselor for the Department of Corrections. I'm a Brigadoon Service Dog Board member. I'm looking forward to our auction this year. It's going to be a virtual auction and it's going to have some really great items. I hope that you can take a look at our items that we have up on the auction and can participate. It's going to be a very fun event.
Knowing that these service dogs from the Brigadoon program are going to be going to veterans gives me great pride to be part of that. I get to put my effort and energy into producing a dog that's going to help somebody that's helped our country and give them a quality of life that they may not have had without that dog. The most rewarding part would be knowing that what I'm doing is helping someone else, helping the dog, helping the client that receives the dog, helping myself, seeing the people in the facility smile when the dog walks by. There's so much to say about that. There's so much good about this program. It's helped me with my patients and PTSD, depression. It's a great program.
When I first arrived at Coyote Ridge, I was involved in another dog program where we were training rescue dogs, and I enjoyed working with dogs. I've been a dog owner my entire life, and I always wanted to learn to train dogs. I never had the opportunity, and in fact I'd love to go back and apologize to all of the dogs that I had before I came here, because I didn't know what I was doing. Now I do. But then I heard about Brigadoon, and it just seemed like a great opportunity to do something with a purpose and a meaning beyond the walls of this place. My favorite part about training the Brigadoon dogs is that each dog is different. Every dog comes in with their own personality and their own kind of strengths and weaknesses. And even though we end up training the same cues to all of the dogs, the process that we have to go through to train the different cues is different for every dog. And it requires problem solving and bouncing ideas off of each other and a collaborative approach to training that I think adds a lot of training value and a lot of fun to what we do. The hardest part for me is just the environment that we work in. This is a difficult environment sometimes to train, and again, it requires some problem solving and some collaboration with staff and my fellow trainers to figure out ways to work around some of the challenges and opportunities that we have in this environment. For instance, training them in how to get in and out of a car. We figured out other things that they can get in and out of that simulate getting in and out of a car. So we have a lot of opportunities to work around a lot of other people and groups and crowds and things like that. So again, it's kind of two sides of the same coin. Being in here and having to problem solve and work collaboratively is a plus, but it's also a minus.
Has this program changed you in any way?
Absolutely. Just training dogs in general, but particularly with Brigadoon, I have learned a lot about how to interact with people and how to interact with people when you're having challenges, and to be a problem solver instead of ignoring the problem or in some cases making the problem worse. I've learned how to basically positively interact with the people around me and positively problem solve when I have issues that arise with the people around me.
I was interested in participating in the Brigadoon Dogs Prison Program for two reasons. Primary is I get to give back to fellow veterans. Secondary, I get to work with dogs while I'm in prison. It doesn't get much better than that. My favorite part about training Brigadoon dogs is that I not only get to teach them stuff, but I'm also teaching myself at the same time. I'm learning patience. I'm learning more stuff than I ever would have thought possible just working on dogs, and I grew up with dogs my entire life. This has been very enlightening for me. The hardest part is after spending months training a dog, watching it leave. That is alleviated by knowing it's going to go out and make somebody's life better, but that's definitely the hardest part.
Has this program changed you in any way?
Oh yes, it's changed me in many ways, but the biggest one is it's taught me patience, which I didn't really have before. I was not really a patient person. People would say patience is a virtue. I was like, yeah, not for me. But it's definitely taught me patience. You need patience when you're working with animals. I want others to know about Brigadoon program is that not only do they care about their animals, they care about the people who work for them. They give us everything we could possibly need, but also the customers. They're going to give them the dog that best fits them, so that way they're getting something that can actually really help them instead of just giving them an animal that may or may not work. The most rewarding part of being in the program is knowing that I am helping fellow veterans not only give them a better quality of life, but it's also giving their family a better quality of life too, because they're not worried about their loved one, brother, sister, friend, or anything like that that's having a difficult time, because now they got something that's actually making their life easier and better for them.
What's your favorite part about training Brigadoon dogs?
I would have to say my favorite part about training Brigadoon dogs would be the aha moment. When you're working through a particular cue or a chain of cues, and the dog is learning the sequence of how to do the cue, they're assimilating that information, and then just out of nowhere they'll have an epiphany, and it's like the proverbial light bulb goes on in their head, and that's very gratifying for, I think, for both of us. The hardest part is having to constantly explain to staff and fellow inmates the reasons why they're not allowed to pet our dogs. For the most part, everybody's respectful, and they understand. You know, they're a little disappointed, but after you explain it to them, they're more often than not, they're willing to, you know, do what's right, help out the program.
Has this program changed you in any way?
Yes, this program has definitely changed me. It has made me more patient, more focused, more aware, more empathetic, and more confident. And I think it's made me a better father for my son. Because the process of shaping another animal's worldview, you can't help but have a certain amount of introspection. And we're dealing with psychology and behavior, and we're working really closely with these animals, and it's impossible not to change. I would want others to know about this program is the incredible life-changing effects that it has on people, not just the person at the end of this journey, but the animals going to great homes, us growing as individuals and growing as a team, the people inside of the prisons, how we're changing their lives, you know, just by having them see the dogs. It's like the dog's a stone being dropped in a pond, and the ripples just keep going.
Thank you for everyone for your support for Brigadoon Service Dogs. This is something that we couldn't do without everybody's support, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Thank you.